Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
I think we're ready to roll. The gentleman that's in the Michigan Department of Corrections facility, can you tell me your name?
My name is Irvin Reynolds,
All right,
and
thank you,
I'd
Mr.
like to
Reynolds.
say that coming in, that I'll make a special and limited appearance just to challenge the subject matter jurisdiction of the court. And I'm saying that the court doesn't have jurisdiction of the principal subject matter, which is the writ of attachment that the prosecutor's office filed.
All right, your objection is noted. 1 second here. All right, this is State of Michigan versus Irvin Reynolds, case 24060877701. Today is the date set for a bond redetermination hearing. Can I have appearances, please?
Good morning, Judge. Steve Vincent for the people, P71917.
Good morning, Jessica Shipe, number 81798. On behalf of Mr. Reynolds, sir, can you please state your full name for the record?
She's not my lawyer, Your Honor. This is an arraignment proceeding, right?
Mr. Reynolds, do you wish to represent yourself?
Is this an arraignment proceeding?
This is sort of like an arraignment. This is like a you are arraigned, and this is a hearing to see if the bond.
Hold on, you said I was arraigned?
Okay, so
Did you just say I was arraigned?
Your Honor, may I step in? I see some notes here.
Well,
I haven't been arraigned.
Can I stop everybody right now? Ms. Shive, if Mr. Reynolds is indicating that he's not your attorney, then I'm gonna ask that you hold tight right now. Mr. Reynolds,
I haven't been arraigned.
Sir, listen to me for a second. I'm trying to straighten this out. You indicated that you have not been arraigned?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 1 second. Let me take a look at what's in the file. Hold tight.
Yes, and I do have notes, so not on behalf of him, just to help the court.
I appreciate that. All right, so the system says that it was arraigned, but if that's a mistake, Ms. Shive, you indicated that you had some additional notes?
Yes, so the notes that I have, it looks like Mr. Reynolds did want to represent himself. He was spoken to and told his rights and all. And it looks like he was Okay, it looks like he was objecting to being arraigned without being brought in person. It says that he wanted to be arraigned in person and he was objecting, but I do see that a bond was given and new dates were given. So it said no video arraignment. So I believe it was done without, he wanted to
Your
come
Honor.
in person.
Well, I would say this, Mr. Reynolds, I would say this, that's fair. If you want to be arraigned in
Your Honor,
person.
hold on, wait a minute.
No, stop. You have the right to be arraigned in person.
They cut
Listen
the
to
camera
me.
off.
I'm going to stop your audio because you're not listening to me, and I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm indicating if you want to be arraigned in person, I am going to order you arraigned in person. And we're going to stop all this. If you stop talking over me, we wouldn't have this back and forth. All right. So I'm going to set an arraignment date. Let's see, today, the next date they have in front of you for, looks like there's an exam date scheduled for January 2nd, 2025. We're going to have the writ signed for you to be arraigned on that date. We'll see if that's enough time to transport you to 36th District Court for your arraignment, and then we'll take a PCC from there. So we'll schedule this for an arraignment January 2nd, 2025 before Judge Sabri. That's going to be your next date, sir. And we're going to have a writ to bring you down to 36 for that hearing. That concludes the hearing. Well, that was easy. All right. Person in interview room 10, can you tell me your name?
Justin Wilson.
All right, Mr. Wilson. 1 second. It's the State of Michigan versus Justin Wilson, case 2406111-301. Today is the date set for a bond redetermination hearing. Bond is set intentionally unaffordable. Appearances, please.
Thank you, Judge. Steve Vincent, P71917.
Jessica Shive on behalf of Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, please state your full name for the record.
Justin Dion Wilson.
All right, bond is set intentionally unaffordable in this matter. Ms. Scheib, as to bond.
As to bond, Your Honor, I will start by saying that we see the allegations, the charges, we understand their seriousness, Your Honor. But Mr. Wilson has no prior criminal convictions to our knowledge. He's not on probation or parole or nothing pending. He's 32 years old. He's a lifelong resident of Michigan. He's a college grad. He's a manager at his job from 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. And Your Honor, the report is interesting here. It appears that the complaining witness allegedly stole my client's car. And then the rest of the allegations against my client that you could see. And then when the police go to the hospital to speak to the complaining witness lies and says that he got a car from a friend but could not provide his name, which goes to credibility of the witness, lying right there. Your Honor, also when my client, the police say that there was a gun found, no round in the chamber, empty magazine. These are allegations. You have the report. I, again, understand the seriousness of this, but my client is 32 years old with not on probation or parole, nothing pending and no priors. These are all allegations on both sides. If any of this is true, we understand and my client understands that you let the police handle matters like this and you don't take matters into your own hands. But these are allegations. He's presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Again, the complaining witness alleges the one that steals the car and then, lies to the police. But we are here for redetermination. They'll have, my client will have his day in court. Everything will come out. But for purposes of bond, I'm gonna respectfully ask the court to reduce the bond or give a personal bond. And if the court is not inclined to do that without a tether, given the allegations, then we understand. I just ask that he be allowed to go to work so he doesn't lose this job that he has. It's a good job and he has no priors, Your Honor. And there's no reason to have any flight risk here. So respectfully asking for a reduction in that bond, any bond amount is going to be unaffordable.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Vincent, as to bond.
Judge, lead charge here is the assault with intent to murder. We have an individual who actually warned the police prior to this incident that they better find the individual that took his car before he did. Well, unfortunately, he ended up finding that individual before the police did, and he ended up shooting at that individual in his car, allegedly the individual who ended up taking his car. He actually shot at his own vehicle, and then he struck that individual that allegedly was driving his car. The incident's caught on video. We have an admission from this defendant as well. We do feel as though there's a high likelihood of conviction here. It's pretty scary when people take these kinds of matters into their own hands. I mean, quite honestly, we could have been here for a murder charge. So respectfully, we find him to be a danger. We're asking you to continue this bond.
All right, one moment. Bond is currently set at $100,000 cash as surety. See that there was a warrant in the system for a previous firearm violation. CCW. I don't know what happened with that back in 2020.
If I may, Your Honor.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes, sir.
I know you want to talk right now. If you want to speak through your attorney, I can put you in a room so you can talk with her so you don't say anything that might possibly incriminate you. That might be the best way to proceed on this matter, but I'll let you go if you want to go, but maybe you want to tell her what you want to say and let her say it.
It was really just pertaining to the that warrant and those tickets. I don't even know how that's still on my record. That was supposed to got tossed out when I had went to court for all of that stuff. All that was taken care of. I don't know how that's still there.
Yeah, I know I did the exam on your other one. So, I got some familiarity to it. I can't pretend like it didn't happen. So understanding this is at least the second gun offense at this point, somebody shot, and reading the investigator's report, this happened on a street. Somebody else could have been hurt. That car crashed into something else. Understanding the circumstances, understanding that, maybe there was justification for this, but I'm here to protect the safety of the public at this point. And I can't trust you out here without firearms and weapons right now. So bond is going to remain the same in this matter. I do believe that there's been a situation that's created a very high, high level of danger to the community at large. I understand as a most of those situations, you see somebody with your car. I've had my car taken a couple of times. That's not something you easily take, especially when you see it. But there's something going on here right now. I'm not comfortable with reducing the bond, so bond is going to remain the same. Sir, your next date is, excuse me, January 2nd, 2025, before Judge Taylor. January 2nd, before Judge Taylor.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay.
The gentleman that's in interview room 22, can you tell me your name? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. I can't see who that is. Person in 22, can you tell me your name?
Shoot. Tell me your name. Shoot.
Amanda Rose Pearl hyphen Smith.
All right, thank you, man. 1 second.
Good joke.
State of Michigan versus Amanda Prowl Smith, case 2406111-501. Today is the date set for a bond redetermination hearing. Appearances, please.
Thank you, Judge. Steve Vincent, P71917.
Jessica Scheib on behalf of Miss Powell Smith. Ma'am, can you please state your full name for the record?
She says she wants to leave. She's.
My name is not Amanda Prowl Smith. I said it was Amanda Rose Pearl hyphen Smith. You guys aren't gonna lie on my name, so no thank you.
Oh, Miss Amanda Rose Prowl Smith,
Yes.
I don't want to lie on your name. If you want me to
Right.
call
So
you by
say
your,
my whole name, or we're not gonna do this.
well, it's your choice, ma'am.
Absolutely.
But I will say your whole name. Is that okay? Can you sit down? All right, let me start again. I apologize, ma'am. Let's see. This is State of Michigan versus Amanda Rose Powell Smith.
Prowl.
Prowl, excuse me. I'm sorry again. I've got a sinus thing, so I'm not pronouncing stuff the way I'm supposed to. So
Sure thing.
give me some grace here. All right, 1 second here. Let me get the case number. 2406111-501. Have appearances, please.
Thank you, Judge. Steve Vincent, P71917.
Jessica Scheib on behalf of the defendant.
All right, today is the date set for a redetermination hearing. Bond was set intentionally unaffordable. Miss Scheib as to bond.
As to bond, she maintains her innocence. These are allegations. She is presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. She understands she needs to make it to all of her court dates. There is mental illness here, Your Honor, and there is a mental order stating that she is legally incapacitated. So respectfully asking the court to give a reasonable bond here, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Vincent as to bond.
Judge, we feel as though the $350,000 cash assurity tether house arrest is a reasonable bond here. We have a defendant allegedly who ended up stabbing her uncle in the back of the head, the neck, and other parts of his body regarding a dispute over a phone charger. And then she was later found, as you can see, in a locked bathroom at a different residence. Judge, in addition to what we have here, I have a April 15 of 24 bench warrant out of Rochester for a failure to appear for a bond violation hearing on a domestic violence. It was a capious. There's a 10% provision on that warrant. I also do have that legally incapacitated mental order in August of 22. with all of that being said, we're going to ask you to continue this. We find her to be a supreme danger.
Okay. Had a chance to review the investigator's report as well as hear arguments on behalf of the defendant as well as the people. And at this time, the bond is going to remain the same and intentionally unaffordable. As I do have concerns for the safety of the public at large right now. I understand that this is an alleged assault amongst a family member, and there are two sides to every story. However, the circumstances surrounding this, at least, according to one side, that this was over a phone charger. No indication that, there were any other weapons outside of the weapon first produced by the by the defendant, as well as that person leaving the scene while that other person was injured. I do have concerns for the safety of the individuals. However, I will note that, in the next hearing date, if there's a plan in place, I strongly encourage the defendant or her family to reconsider or ask to reconsider bond if there is some sort of stable environment that she could be placed in. So at this time, bond is going to remain the same. Miss Amanda Rose Prowl-Smith, your next date is January 3rd, 2025 before Judge Giles. January 3rd. That concludes the hearing. Person in interview room number 11, can you tell me your name, sir?
I am Franklin Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, 1 second. State of Michigan versus James Franklin Williams. Case 2406115401. Today is the date set for a bond redetermination hearing. Appearances, please.
Steve Vincent for the people.
Jessica Shab on behalf of Mr. Williams. Sir, please state your full name for the record.
James Franklin Williams.
All right, thank you, Mr. Williams. Today is the date set for a bond redetermination hearing. Bond is set intentionally unaffordable. Ms. Scheib, as to bond.
As to bond, Your Honor, he is a lifelong resident. He was living with the complaining witness and his son. He understands he needs to stay somewhere else. He was arrested at home. I don't believe there's any flight risk here, Your Honor. He has his GED. He is employed. He understands he needs to make it to all of his court dates. I am respectfully asking the court to consider a reduction in this bond. Any bond amount is going to be unaffordable. He looks forward to his day in court, Your Honor. I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a reduction in the bond, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Vincent, as to bond.
Judge, we have allegations of punching as well as strangling an individual to unconsciousness. We have visible injuries that correlate the allegation, including the bruises to the complainant's arms, legs, a sore throat. In addition to the allegations, Judge, the defendant's currently on probation, ended up being convicted October 17th of 2024 for an attempt R&O, ended up getting 18 months. So 2 months into that probation, we have these allegations for a GBH as well as a DV. Respectfully, we're going to ask you to continue this.
Ms. Scheib, does your client have another place to stay?
Yes, Your Honor. He was respectfully asking for a one-time escort just to get his belongings. I don't know how the court feels about that, but he does have another place to stay.
Excuse me, Judge. I don't even want.
Mr. Williams, I got to say this first. You have the right to remain silent. If you would like to, I would strongly suggest that you speak through your attorney. If you want a breakout room, I can put you in the breakout room. So you can tell her and then she can tell me. But, I got to let you know that before you start talking.
Okay, can I get a breakout room, please, sir?
All right, Mr. Williams is back. Ms. Shive, anything further?
Yes, Your Honor. First off, he does not need that police escort, because he wants a fresh start. He already had packed his stuff, and that's when he was leaving, and that's when all this allegedly happened. He's going to be going to stay with his wife. He got married a few weeks ago. The complaining witness is a ex-girlfriend, as you could say, and I know that he's not sitting pretty close to the camera now, but I think the court could see. But during the arraignment and still now, his face is pretty swollen, pretty bad. He had 2 black eyes. He's still got the mark under. And I saw it during his interview too, that since Thursday, I believe, Your Honor. And so it's still pretty bad today. It was worse then, and that is allegedly from the complaining witness, but he's the one in front of you today. So I'm respectfully asking the court again to consider a reduction in the bond. And he doesn't need to go back to that address for any reason, even with a police escort, Your Honor.
One second. All right. I'm going to set the bond at 75,000 personal with a GPS tether. No contact with the complaining witness. No contact with that address on Tennessee. Do you understand, Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, if you're at that house, tether's going to catch. You're going to be remanded to the end of this matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, the next date is January 2nd, 2025 before Judge Sabri. January 2nd, 2025 before Judge Sabri. That concludes the hearing.
Thank you, Judge.